listeners, it's your girl Kristynalexis, and you guys, we are not only back, but we are back with a series that I used to do a long time ago. So when I first started my channel, I started with Money Mondays, and then Money Mondays transitioned into Mentorship Mondays. The goal of these series a long time ago is I wanted to share information that I know I needed when I was going through certain elements or certain chapters of my life that I was trying to take myself to the next level. And this is just kind of like all the things I wish I knew for you. In these videos, I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of really great topics. We're going to have some good conversation. It's probably going to be a mix of sit down videos like this one, maybe some mukbangs, maybe some chit chat, get ready with me. But either way, we are going to have some conversation that hopefully is thought provoking, and I also hope it is inspiring as well. So today's topic, I actually want to walk you back through my career story, my career journey. I have actually done this video in a lot of different ways on my channel, but I feel like at this point, it's a really good time to touch base and redo this video because a lot has happened since I initially put this first video up on my channel. If I'm not mistaken, when I first walked you through my career story, I think this was like 4 years ago. So I've been on YouTube for a long time since then. I have done a lot more of my career since then, and I feel like it's a perfect opportunity to do a re-up or a revamp or a refresh. Whatever you want to call it, we're gonna do that right now. So I hope you are comfortable, grab a snack, and let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna share with you guys my career story, starting all the way from the beginning until today. But before we do, if you do not know who I am Kristynalexis. Thank you so much for coming and checking my channel out. And for those of you who already know me, please put your star in the comment section so I know you guys made it. Y'all know I like to see who came into the video. So drop your star below and let's get into it, okay? Okay, you guys, so my story goes all the way back to high school. For those of you who may or may not know, I was a teen mom. I had my oldest son, his name is Arius, when I was 17 years old. I was pregnant with Arius at 16. I had him at 17. I was still in high school. I had my senior year to finish. And y'all, I just have to say, it was crazy, okay? So I was a teen mom. I was able to overcome being a teen mom and still accomplish my biggest dreams. That is gonna come here in just a little bit, but I feel like that's important to spike out, is I was a teen mother. I had my son. I went to Everett High School at the time, and then I decided to go to Michigan State University to continue my education post high school. Now, if you wanna get the full details of this beginning portion of the story, I will link the older videos so you guys can check those out. But long story short, I had never really thought about going to college. I kind of assumed I would end up at the community college, but I really had never set big goals for myself up until the point I had my son. So when I had Arius, I ended up joining this class that they had at school, and the class was basically dedicated for teen moms. They would have us in there, y'all, every single week and basically getting us connected with resources and things that teen moms can benefit from when you are trying to take care of your child. However, there were some things in that class that just really didn't sit well with me, and basically it was just kind of the sense that they accepted the fact that that was going to be it for us. Like, they were giving us connections to things that I think are really awesome, but they weren't really trying to help us continue to move forward and progress and, you know, go to the next level in our lives from where we currently were. So it was just something sitting in there, and that class strongly just encouraged and motivated me to not want to be stuck at the level that the people who were teaching that course, like the way they were talking, it just made me feel like that's what they expected me to be. And I didn't want to just be labeled a teen mom and let that be my legacy for the rest of my life. So that inspired me to get my stuff together and figure out what would it take to go to college and to actually go to a good school. So I got off my butt, I got my stuff together, and I decided to go to an on-campus recruiting event that they were having at my school, and it was with Michigan State University. So a recruiter came from Michigan State University, and he came and he talked about the college. Y'all, when he finished his conversation with us, I was so motivated, and it was really like the first time I felt like I knew what I wanted to do. So got my stuff together, got my application together and I applied to Michigan State University. I took advantage of the on-site interview process where he came back and we could actually sit down and interview with him. So I got admitted into the program. It was amazing. I was just blown away at the fact that I was able to go to college. I do have to say, and this is for some of you who may be younger and maybe are disappointed, I didn't know that by being a teen mother that I was actually going to be able to file exempt from my mom and be able to take loans to pay for myself because I was independent. I had a kid. I was the head of household now. So by doing that, I was able to finance my college on my own. I went to Michigan State. I'm not really sure why I picked advertising. I think it has something to do with the fact that a long time ago, I kind of knew I was interested in marketing, but I wasn't really sure if I wanted to join the College of Business, whereas advertising was in the communications college. So I went the communications route, where in hindsight, I probably should have did marketing because that's where my heart is, which we'll get to that also in a little bit. But I got my undergrad in advertising. I was blessed to go every single summer. And I did every summer because I was able to take financial aid and pay for my bills and stuff like that. It was just easier that way. I had my son. I didn't have to worry as much about daycare full time to try to go and like work a job. I felt like doing an internship was gonna be really, really hard for me at the time with him. So I decided to just take classes all year round. And by doing that, I was able to graduate in 3.5 years. So I graduated from Michigan State University December 2003. I actually was high school class of 2000. I didn't mention this, but I was high school class of 2000. Came into Michigan State 2000 in the fall, graduated my undergraduate program in 2003, and I later went on to work for a company called Citadel Broadcasting Company. So this point in my life was probably, it was good because I had a job. However, I was not in love with radio sales. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. So I did radio sales. I was a sales rep. I probably had the worst sales list because I was a newbie, and you know, you come in, my list was like probably all the companies that people didn't really want to work with. So I did that job for about 10 months because I think I started in January. I did that job and then I just started to get weary. I felt like this is not the job for me. Like it wasn't a fit for me. Like it just wasn't. So that job though, my salary was $20,000 a year. And then what would happen is you would get commission on top of that. But I wasn't really good at it, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was just something about, I felt like I was pressuring people to spend their money and I just wasn't sold on the benefit. Like, I don't know, it just wasn't a fit for me. I wasn't passionate about it. It was good for some of the other people who worked there, but just not for me, okay? So I decided it was time for me to find something that was gonna be a better fit for me. And I decided to look into pharmaceutical sales, okay? I also have a couple videos though, real quick, I just wanna spike this out. I have a couple videos where I talk about pharmaceutical sales. I explained what reps do. I explain some of the fun times working in the industry. So I will put that stuff in the description box. So if you want to learn more about that industry, that career, I will have it all down below. Okay, so getting back into it, I decided to interview for pharmaceutical sales. It's so crazy, you guys. I interviewed with so many companies. It was like months of a process, okay? I interviewed with Sanofi Aventis, with Merck. I interviewed with some of the little companies like Takeda. I interviewed with Pfizer one time in Atlanta. I flew all the way to Atlanta, interviewed with them, and they gave me a no. The lady wrote me this long email as to why it wasn't gonna work out. Later on, interviewed with them again. I went to the career fair. So Michigan State has this career fair every single year, which most colleges do. And I saw that Pfizer was gonna be there. So I'm like, I want this job. I'm not gonna let this no stop me. So I got myself together. I wore this green suit. It was like this, I don't even know if I have anything I could show you, but it was like a tealish green color. And I had this like scarf to go with it. I wore the green suit. I went to the career fair. They had this long line. I legit walked in front of the line with my resume, walked right up to one of the hiring managers. His name was Ken. I remember Ken to this day. walked up to Ken, handed him my resume, introduced myself, and I gave him my pitch. And if you're not familiar with what a pitch is, it's basically like your 60-second spiel as to why they need to talk to you about a job, okay? So I gave him my pitch. He pointed up into the stands, because if you know like the basketball arena, it's called the Breslin. The Breslin is like a huge like bowl, okay? And when you're down on the main floor where the guys play basketball, this is where everything was set up. He points to the stands, which are like way up high, and he waves at this person and he's like, go up there and give them your name. So I go up there, I give them my name, and it was for an interview. I interviewed with them over the next couple of days. It went amazing. I was like blown away how well it went. I interviewed with a guy named Michael, who he wanted me to be considered for his job that he had on his team. I went through that process. There were also a couple other jobs that were open. And Michael told me, he's like, look, being totally transparent with you, I know you live in Lansing. The job I have is in Grand Rapids. And there's another job or another territory which is near there. But there was nothing like right in Lansing. So everything I was looking at, there was gonna be a commute, okay? So I interviewed with him, had another interview. Everything was going good. I interviewed with 3 managers, got the green light, went to the regional office, and I interviewed with the regional manager there. Interview went great, killed it, okay, I killed it. And then the hiring manager was actually in town. So this is a different hiring manager for a different territory. He was in town, headed back home on the same flight as me. Well, I think he was going on a different flight, but he was at the airport at the same time as me. So he's like, can you meet me at the Delta Lounge? Because I want to talk to you. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I meet him at the Delta Lounge. He gives me an offer for $50,000, $50,300, okay? I accept the offer on the spot. I did tell this story on live to some of you, so you may be watching who has saw the live where I explained why I should have asked for more money, because I know somebody who did. They got more. They were a guy. They were a little more bold than me, and the amount of that he got over me, it just spread throughout our careers. Like while I was in pharma, it's amazing how that little bit more money he got turned into so much more money, but we'll talk about that in another video, okay? So I got the offer, y'all. So this was my first like corporate job, because the radio sales, I think technically you could call that corporate, but it was more like a regional, because I was working in like a smaller market radio office and I was selling advertising. That to me didn't feel like a corporate job, but this is big time corporate, okay? I'm going to work for Pfizer, the #1 pharmaceutical company in the world. We went to the best training facility in the world. It was absolutely amazing. And like I said, I'll have a video down below where I talk about just how amazing the whole training facility, the whole training, everything was. But long story short, that was a huge turning point in my career, and it really helped push me to the point where I was financially comfortable, okay? That job also, you get the free car insurance is covered. It's really nice. So from a financial perspective, I felt like I was finally secure. I was in a really good position based on landing that job. Okay, so now I just kind of want to talk to you about a transition I had before I went back to get my MBA, okay? So I decided to leave Pfizer a couple years after being there. I think I might have worked for Pfizer for like, what was it? I think it was like 4 or 5 years if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on it. But I worked at Pfizer. They had gone through some reorganizations. I had made it out. I was doing okay, but at the same time, I knew more was coming. Like they weren't done. And there was a job that opened up in the territory where I lived in a different company. So I decided to apply for that job. The friend that I told you about who got the job at Pfizer at the same time as me, who made more, he went there first and he told me how he was making more money. He loved it. So I decided to jump ship and to go to that company with him. So we go over there, everything was cool. The company was Sharing Plow Pharmaceuticals, and after I'd been there for a couple years, they announced that they were going to be merging with Merck. But I had a plan already, okay? I had a plan before all this even came to fruition. I had decided I was going to go back to school to get my MBA. And I had gone to a couple on-site presentations at Michigan State University they blew me away. They were just so inspiring. I had a chance to talk to a lot of people who had already gone through the program. Careers were flourishing. The students who were in the program had job offers at really, really good companies. I just was like, this is what I have to do. So I had done the application. I had taken the test, so I had done the GMAT. I actually did the GMAT 3 times to get the score that I wanted. And that was a story in itself, but it was a journey. It was hard, but I did the test and I was able to get accepted to Michigan State. So I got accepted to Michigan State University. I decided to go ahead and leave Schering-Plough, and it was so crazy because I knew I was going to Michigan State. The merger's happening and everybody's freaking out, but me, I'm like, hey, it's cool because I already know I'm going back to school. So I'm about to go back to school to get my MBA. I'm leaving this job anyway, so it's like nothing. I actually had my performance review and I knew that manager did not like me. It was so crazy. I knew he didn't like me. It was just kind of like from the beginning when he acquired my territory, I just got a sense that he had this relationship with his previous reps, and then there was me, and I just knew he didn't like me. So the review he gave me, it just kind of came off like he was coming up with all these excuses. He had never even seen me in the field, and he was making comments about things that he, perception of my potential style in the field, and had never even seen me. So I'm just sitting here through this performance review like, okay, great, yep. Because I always had good numbers. I had always done my thing when it came to being in sales in the pharmaceutical industry, but that's neither here nor there. I guess the point I'm trying to really drive home is I'm having this review. I'm sitting here and I know I'm out the door in a couple of weeks, right? And I also know that the reviews are going to be a determining factor in who gets to keep their job and who doesn't. So, it was just kind of one of those things where like, it was what it was. I went through that process. Finally, the school year is about to start. So I put my 2 weeks notice in. And let me tell y'all, after I put my 2 weeks notice in, I leave the company. It was literally like a month or so later, they let people do what's called a voluntary, raise your hand, where basically you could raise your hand to take the out and you would get severance and be displaced from the company. So you almost gave up your job for other people. Y'all, if that would have happened a couple weeks earlier, I could have taken that. I would have got the money, the severance money, and that would have helped me pay for my undergrad or for my MBA. So I was really hurt that I missed that opportunity, but I guess you don't know what you don't know, right? So, it kind of was what it was. But I went back to school, did my MBA, and the MBA process for me was an 18-month process at Michigan State. The program was amazing, first of all. I feel like I learned so much about myself. My confidence in myself as a business professional just totally increased. And that was something I really wanted to increase as I was in the program. I wanted to be more confident. I wanted to be someone who delivered consistent results. I wanted to be someone who added value consistently to a company, and that would be very hard to displace because of the skills and the value that I continue to bring to the company. So I just felt like my confidence after the program went through the roof. It was so amazing. Not only to mention the friends I met, the opportunities I was given from interviews with other companies, it was absolutely amazing. And I just highly recommend it. If you guys want to know any more about B School, y'all let me know. I'll also try to link some stuff below, other videos talking about this, but I could go on and on. So the program was amazing. I graduated and I took the job with the company that I'm at now. You know what though? Let me rewind really quickly because I do want to tell you about one little part of my process in that program. I was able to do an internship, and I did my internship at this company called Amgen in Thousand Oaks, California. Oh my goodness, you guys. That internship was such a great opportunity. Not only did I learn so much, I got to be a part of a product launch of a product called Prolia, which basically that product is for women who were postmenopausal and had osteoporosis. Absolutely amazing opportunity. I did my internship there, did so many things throughout the summer that were just memories, created just amazing memories. And that internship, not only did we get paid, they put us up in apartments that were all furnished, and we did have roommates, but we had like a maid service that would come through once a week. It was amazing. They gave us a car too. Don't forget about the car. They gave us a car. Like, absolutely amazing experience. So I did that, got done with the program, graduated, and I took the job that I'm at now. So I've been in my current job for about 9 years, a little bit over 9 years. I came into a rotational program where basically I got the chance to work in marketing, logistics, and quality. That was a great opportunity for me because I have gotten to see the organization from so many different perspectives. I also have learned things I know I would not want to do as a career, like quality. Hats off to my quality people, but that is not a field for me. It's not the function for me at all. Logistics is also pretty cool, so I got to kind of touch the logistics supply chain area of the business. Really, really cool. Learned a lot, like an absolute a lot. I did marketing as well, which is actually where I went back to school to get my MBA in. So my MBA is in marketing and in strategy. That's my sub-concentration. And I got to do some marketing, but I ended up doing project management. So as most of you know, I am a project manager. I've been doing project management at my company now, oh man, it's probably been at least 5 or 6 years. And I think what I love the most about project management is the opportunity to interact with so many people. It reminds me of when I was in pharmaceutical sales and I would meet with different people every single day. I'd have the chance to work with different people and then I go on to something else. And it just kind of, in my opinion, keeps me fresh because I'm not doing a job where I lose my zeal because it's the same thing every single day. Like every day is different. There's always something new that's come up, and it just keeps me engaged and excited and all of those things. So I've been doing project management for a while. I got my certification. I think it's been almost 2 years now, if I'm not mistaken, because it wasn't this year. I think it was the year before. So it'll be 2 years this January. And y'all, like, it has been a journey, an absolute journey. And I think in the first video, I didn't have my certification as of then. And I have in my career so far, I've had the chance to work with the senior leadership team. I've had a chance to work with the CFO, who used to be my boss, and then we went through a huge reorganization, and then I ended up underneath a different arm of the business. But I have worked closely with the CFO, the CEO, with all different leaders throughout our organization, to be frank. And it has just opened up so many different, it has just given me a perspective around like what it's like to do some of those leadership roles, things that I know I wouldn't want to do, things I think I would love to do. I just have been really blessed, you know, to work on some amazing projects in my career. And I wish I could talk more about like what I've done, but unfortunately I don't think that that would be appropriate. But I just want to say that, like, I hope my story is motivating and inspiring because I've had the chance to just continue to reinvent the wheel, continue to level up and to push myself further. I've been able to double my income a couple of times and make more money, take on more responsibility, and just have a really fulfilling career. And it has been absolutely amazing, okay? And this new chapter of my life, I have been able to also, as like my side hobby, do YouTube and to communicate with you guys. And I love it. It's been such a blessing doing YouTube and being able to have a community like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just such a great, great hobby. I highly encourage any of you who need something to do when you are just at home and maybe you don't have your kids for the night or whatever the case may be. I did this when I didn't have my kids because my kids would go 50-50 back and forth, you know, from being divorced. So long story short, my career journey has been complicated, but an amazing journey nonetheless. I've really had some great opportunities, and I wanted to make sure to share this with you guys because I think it's been kind of cool as well. In my time at my current job, I've been on so many projects, and project work to me is so much fun. I love starting the projects and getting them off the floor and making things happen. And in this series, we're gonna talk more about project management. I'm gonna share more things with you that I think would be interesting for you to take into consideration if you're actually thinking about going down that career path. But I did kind of want to just share this story with you guys and this progression, because I did want to also first show how I was able to come from way over here as a teen mom all the way to where I am today. I think this is a journey in itself, and I really think it's kind of amazing to think how far I've come. Also, when I think about my divorce story, and I've shared that with you on this channel, and how in my divorce I thought I was going to be set back and it was going to be hard for me to continue to progress forward. But y'all, I've been able to do so much, and I feel so good about where I am right now in my career and in my, hobbies and things of that nature, that it has been an amazing progression. And as some of you also know, I've been doing some investing as well on the side. So I've got a lot of little things I dabble in right now. And I think that that's like the last little nugget of my career journey, because the investing side has also opened my eyes to maybe some of the things in finance that I could be interested in. I've worked in so many functions in my career. I really think I could add a lot of value with what I've learned through investing, as well as what I've learned through working with my finance counterparts and the rest of the organization. So I just personally feel like I'm at a point in my life where I can do anything that I set my mind to. And I wanted to leave you guys with that at the end of this video, because I want you to know, if I can do all of these things that I have been able to do in my career story, you can do whatever it is you put your mind to as well. So with that, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I really hope you have enjoyed this video and got something out of it. But I just look back at my career and at my story, and I think about all the times where I was told no. I think about all the times where it seemed impossible. But through it all, I always managed to find a way. God always had my back. My friends always had my back. And it's just very amazing to see too, there are people along the way who I didn't expect, who were there to continue to help me climb over that next hurdle and get to where I was trying to go. So don't give up. Keep your head on your shoulders and keep moving. Create those vision boards and write the vision and make it plain. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. Comment below and let me know what you do for your career, because I would love to see the different types of careers of people who are watching this video. I will see you guys in our next installment of Mentorship Mondays. Please turn your notifications on, y'all, so you don't miss the vlogs. Mentorship Mondays. Cooking with Kristyn. Well, we gonna call it Kristyn Eats, because I love to eat, and y'all, we're gonna try some recipes over here. But stay tuned for that. And with that, you guys, I will see you in my next upload. Bye.